Welcome to Sage Circle. I'm Amythyst. Today we're doing a pick a pile. You can choose from two piles about your yin yang element, or your yin yang energy, or your light and your shadow energy. This reading is for people who are going through or have been through a dark night of the soul recently, or still going through it now. Even if you're not, but you just need to sort of balance out your energies, you can still watch this reading, but there will be some specific messages for dark night of the soul travelers at this time. Basically it's about how to get balance with both those elements of your shadow and your light aspects, because at certain stages of that journey, when it comes to shadow self and a dark night of the soul, it can be quite isolating and quite surreal. Sometimes you just really feel, or people can really feel, I have over time, just felt really either oversensitive or desensitized to what's going on around me because of the energy associated with the shadow element. So once I was able to pull that back into perspective, and it took about 5 months of shadow work through myself, with myself and my shadow self, to actually get that balance. So we're going to do a reading for that today. The two piles that you can pick from are this beautiful piece of wood and also this Buddha pot plant. So you make your decision. And I will mention, as I have of late in every video, I won't contact you on WhatsApp. You won't find me offering you a reading or asking you to make contact with me or get you to try and book a reading. I won't reach out to people asking for those things. I don't need to. I get my energy work and my sources come to me. So that's how spirit works. I just had a drink of water. Okay, guys, so I'm actually really excited to do this. I've been waiting since yesterday. I asked Spirit what messages does the universe need to be put out at the moment through this particular channel as myself. And then I had to wait since yesterday until Spirit gave me the all clear this morning. And then I've actually been fluffing around for the last hour or so, trying to just get organized to do this. There's no reason why it hasn't happened earlier. The energy wasn't right, but here we are. You might see some smoke wafting across the screen intermittently. That would be sage. Okay, so okay, I'm just bringing in my guides. Please, guides, come in. Okay, so if you've picked pile 1, which is a piece of wood, we're going to get stuck into your reading. I'm just going to move this out the way. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 decks out to use today, if we've got time to get through 8 decks for each pile. All right, let's get into this. This is the Alice the Wonderland Oracle, and we're going to start with some shadow energy. So Spirit, please can you let us know what shadow energy is the overall shadow energy for this pile right now. A card's just flicked down on the ground. Then it says, I want to be a queen, starting your sovereignty, declaring freedom, and passing a test. Okay. Can I just get something to clarify that? Can I have another one, please? It looks like the girl on here has got dark circles around her eyes. She's just worn out. She looks subdued. And the other one says, such a curious dream, grounding, returning to reality, and coming home. Wow. Okay, I'll just push this back a bit. Hang on a minute. All right. So the first card says, I want to be a queen, starting your sovereignty, declaring freedom, and passing a test. And then such a curious dream, grounding, returning to reality, and coming home. So your shadow energy, or your shadow element at this point in time, is you knowing, or your shadow is overriding the reality of what you've got going on. There is genuine a lack of balance going on here. So basically you've got things to do. You've got deadlines for work. You have, commitments that you have to adhere to in your everyday life, and whether it's work or other. And it mightn't be a commitment to others. It could just be a commitment to yourself for things. But that shadow element is hovering over your light at the moment, and it's a bit shady. So basically what's happening is that you want to actually ground and return to reality and just come out of that element and just feel a bit more into your own self at the moment, and not feel so lost with things possibly, or not just feel so exhausted or confused, or not not sure which way to turn with things, just waiting for things to click over. And what Spirit's saying is that in order to do that, you need to picture that shadow energy like an umbrella, and you need to, in your mind, grab that umbrella by the handle, which is over you, and just sort of move it out of the way a bit. So you've still got your shadow, you're still intact with it, because we always need to be, but you've just sort of moved it into a different position. So your light is a bit brighter at the moment, because your light's really, really bright, and it's really, really shining, and it's really, really humming energetically, but it's under that shadow of the umbrella, right? So basically, when the other card where it says such a curious dream, grounding, returning to reality, and coming home, this is what you're striving for. This is like almost a dual shadow going on here. One part of your shadow element, which is the softer, more quieter, subdued side, is going, well, I just want to come out of this right now. Like, I just want to see a shift, and I just want to see a change. And then the heavier side of that is going, well, I want to be a queen. I want to be in charge. I want to have my freedom. I have a right to be as equal as everything else, and passing a test. And that test would be to the self. So there's a fair bit of shadow going on here, but that's not a bad thing. Can I please have some of these Blessed Bee cards by Lucy Cavendish? Yeah. Spirit's saying animals are trying to make messages with this particular pile. I can see in my spirit peripheral little animals cruising around. It could be smaller animals, lizards, squirrels, possums, kittens, you know, I don't know, lizards. If I said lizards, I don't know. It says a blessing on your creativity. Wow, look, there's birds in there, in that picture, in that card. So birds might be another way of trying to show you that they're getting messages to you. And that's the light element. That is the grounding that you're seeking with this shadow. So maybe try and connect with nature. Look, even on the back of these cards, there's birds, and it says a blessing on your health. Yeah, so when people go through shadow, sometimes a lot of things change for an individual. It's different for everybody, but the symptoms are similar. So you could be not eating properly, your taste buds could be gone, you mightn't have any sense of taste, you could be overeating, you could be tired, you could be achy, you could be sore, you could be emotionally moody for no reason, you're just on edge type of thing, or you could be the opposite, where you're just sort of really emotionally detached, and that could be what a blessing on your health is. So basically, even Dragon's here in your reading, right? And he's very spiritual, and he's from all the different elements. He's the keeper or the light bearer of all elements, right? And what the message here is that a blessing on your creativity. Find a way to make a balance with your shadow and your light self, because look, this woman's blowing on her flute, she's calling out, there's messages here, and the animals, there are animals, they're trying to connect with you somehow. So if you aren't one to actually connect with animals like that, but you have seen a few little weird animals, or noticed a few more animals around you somehow lately, just look up what that actual animal is, Google it if you need to, pull out your books or what have you, and see what the spirit messages from that totem animal is at this time. And we've got a blessing to find the truth. Wow, and there's another bird there, a white raven or a white crow. It's a raven. So basically, a blessing on your creativity, a blessing on your health, and a blessing to find the truth. And what Spirit's saying about that card is that you've got to make peace with yourself. You have to go, look, I don't really want to connect with my shadow at this time, or I'm tired of connecting with my shadow. But until you acknowledge it, until you find that truth and that balance and that medium within you, that pivot point where you can actually connect with your shadow and go, look, I acknowledge you, I know you're there, thank you for the lessons right now, thank you for the journeys, I am now taking my power back, I'm asking energy to step back through my shadow so I can actually enhance more with my light, because I now need to work on that end of my life, because I have real life, everyday, Monday things, mundane stuff that I have to get done in the real world, and you, shadow, are overriding that, right? Let's get some more cards out. And that's where you'll find that truth. You just need to make peace with that. Some people try and avoid it, and it's very isolating. Cards are just flicking out left, right, and center. It's very isolating for people. Oh, geez. What Spirit's saying is that if you're having a bit too much screen time, or you can't sleep, so that therefore you're choosing to be on your phone or your touchpad or your iPad or your computer, or watching TV or any form of electronics really late at night when you know you should be sleeping, even if you are sort of resting, Spirit's saying, can you switch that up, please, and actually change it over to a physical book, even an e-book. You know, Spirit's saying electronically, they're trying to give you the message that you need to pull back from electronics, but if you can actually read an actual paper book, that while you're in those times, you will get a different sense of reality. You will have a break from the energy associated with the shadow element, because you'll be locked into what you're reading, regardless of whether it's fiction or other. And you will be able to give yourself a bit of a break from that energy. You can disconnect from that for a period of time. What have we got here? There's birds all over the shop, guys. Birds are everywhere. So this card says, it's safe to ask for help. People want to support me. Yeah, and it's okay to reach out. As I've said, it can be quite isolating. And it's okay to discuss it with other people in your life that maybe don't fully understand what you're talking about if they're not into the spiritual terminology of things. But they would be understanding that you're out of whack somehow, and that's really important. Reach out. It's safe to ask for help. People want to support me. That also reflects on supporting yourself. Look, the color in these cards is almost this color in this card, right? So basically, Spirit saying you can also ask your spirit guides, or look up or research a new angel that you don't usually work with, or call in a saint or something that you wouldn't normally work with, which is interesting because this came up just yesterday in a reading that I've done, sort of thing, a saint. But call on those energies to help you. Could be a deity, it could be Egyptian god or something, whatever you're into, because you need the help. And it says, I trust that my intuition is always leading me in the right direction. Beautiful. Let me see what the next one says. All that I need is coming to me in ways I could have never imagined. Yeah. So what Spirit's saying is to bring in the balance that you need, to have that bit of equilibrium, to give yourself, your physical everyday life, a break from what's going on in shadow. You need to actually just listen to your gut. If something's saying to you, go have an orange juice, literally have an orange juice. If something's saying to you, you need to have a lay down and it's 3 in the afternoon, and in your culture or your home life or your background, that would be, you know, absurd to actually go and have a lay down at 3 in the afternoon. Just bloody do it. Just do it. Your soul's tired and you need that rest. So just, you know, trust your intuition. It says, I trust that my intuition is always leading me in the right direction. If your gut feeling is pulling you away from friendships or places that you would normally frequent, you know, certain cafes or stuff like that, sometimes it's not actually, if it's a place that you feel like you need to pull away from, opposed to people, sometimes it's not actually the place itself, it's what the land is going on underneath it. There could be energy portals, there could be realms, like other realm portals there could be ley lines, there could be vortexes going on there, and it's just not suitable for you at this time, so you might need to pull away from that. If you are having an intuition where your soul is saying to you, look, you really need to pull back from certain people or certain situations that involve certain people, and you can't really figure out why, just trust your gut and do it, and give yourself a break from those environments or those people. It says, today I consciously choose to think loving thoughts that take compassionate actions and bring forth peaceful energy. Yay. And that's the message just to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. If you're in a relationship or in relationships with people where there's lots of levels of toxicity and it's making you feel unbalanced and uneven, please just remember that's what happens when you're on a dark night of the soul journey, or when you've come through that but you're still learning and working with your shadow. What you need to do is do something nice to yourself. Put on a nice shirt that you normally wouldn't wear. Put on a nice pair of earrings, even if you're just going up the road to the markets or something like that. Just do something different for yourself, because compassion, if you can't be compassionate to yourself, you can't be compassionate outwardly. And Spirit's saying, I'm just hearing a specific message. Archangel Michael's come in. Hi! He's saying, please have compassion for your shadow as well. If you acknowledge your shadow and speak to it like it's a whole separate living energy or entity as it is, you will get along better with your shadow. It won't be pushing so overbearing with its needs and its energy towards you, because it's a living thing. It's a solid living mass, and we can't never get rid of that. And that would be horrible to get rid of your shadow, but people need to sort of try and bring that into harmony and to be together as one. I'm getting told more to take another one of those. I'm a bit jittery with my words, and I'm not usually. Sometimes I am, every couple of readings, but this is a shadow element reading, right? So we've got creativity flows from me. I am a divine creator. That's the second message for creativity. And compassion is my compass. I am willing to hold space for the experience of others. Right, we just talked about compassion, and Archangel Michael said you need to have compassion for yourself, but you also, well, I said that, but you also need to have compassion for what's going on with your shadow. You need to acknowledge that your shadow is still a part of yourself. It's an extension, and you need to treat it accordingly. Creativity, be creative in your approach. Be creative in your element. If you've never met your shadow self, it can be quite scary and alarming. I've met mine. It is a female. I know what she looks like, and when I do my shamanic journeying into lower worlds and off to do specific things I won't really get into right now, she comes with me. She is my guide for that type of stuff, and we have an agreement. We've got an understanding now. I couldn't have her with me, around me daily. It's just too, well, she's shadow, you know. So she's very primal too, very primitive. So if you can actually find a way to tap into your shadow and meet your shadow, if you're willing to meet your shadow, you may have a few nightmares. I'm getting told now, actually, if you have been having nightmares lately, that could be the reason why, because your shadow self is coming into your etheric field when you are in that sleepscape, and they're coming in trying to have contact with you. If you can push through the nightmares that you're having and just know it's part of that journey, you will actually possibly see your shadow self and what he or she looks like. Okay, and if you're a female, your shadow could be male. It doesn't really matter. Wow, this reading is different than I thought. I say that a lot lately. Yeah, Archangel Michael is saying that he wants you to cut some cords with things going on around you. It might just be energy cords, just for everything in general. Just if you just picture 20 cords sticking out of your body, all different areas of your body, ribs, knees, legs, shins, shoulder, face, whatever, back, arms. If you just picture all these energy cords coming out, well, that's draining of you, and that's a really sure way to actually have that shadow energy linger. So Archangel Michael's saying if you could please actually just do some cord release stuff, and remember to invoke him to help with that. He's saying that people really need to be wearing dark blue lately, as a token or a resemblance of a cloak from him, a special protective cloak. He's saying that if you can't actually wear blues, but you can visualize a blue cloak around you, make sure you clasp it up. You can have it done up all the way down your front. You can have it with long sleeves. You can have it without. It can be hooded, whatever you envision. But please call it in and get him to help with that, particularly while you're trying to remove these other energies. And it might be from people. You'll know what they are. It might be from people. It might be just from space in general. Wow. How are we going to help this? How can we get some balance for these guys here? Spirit, what have we got here? Do all things in moderation. Oh, wow. So if you are, I'm getting told people are eating different food. If you are eating foods that aren't necessarily healthy for you at this time, and it's a bit different to what you'd normally eat, but you just need it because you know it's sort of, you know, feeding your soul somehow, do it in moderation. Again, with the electronics, I'm getting tapped on the shoulder here by Spirit. Literally, there's a tap on my shoulder. Spirit's saying people really need to pull back on the excessive use of electronics at the moment, because it's really not helping. You're not having that disconnect from that shadow, because it's all just blasting through that energy. For those people that actually work with shadow on a daily as part of your career, your job, your spiritual path, and those of you that do have to be, including myself, a fair bit with electronics all the time, just make sure you have proper structured breaks in between where you know you can actually just put the phone down completely. Don't put it on charge and then do a video, for example, or watch something. Literally put it on charge, go make a cup of tea or a coffee or whatever you do, have a joint for all I care, and go stand outside. Even if it's bucketing rain, open a window and stand there and just take in the energy and have that space. It says make a plan. Yeah, you need to make an agreement and a plan and come up with some energies with your shadow, but you don't need to necessarily ask them, or ask shadow, what's going to happen here? I need it to be this way. You need to exert some dominance here. What else we got here? Be true to yourself. Yes, now I did say earlier, without your shadow there is no light. Your shadow is an extension of yourself. It's a part of yourself, and some people really find that hard to comprehend. Do something different. Yeah, use that creativity. Archangel Michael is saying that for those of you that are trying to do that, that's fantastic. He's saying that if you want to, you can write a letter or a couple of notes to shadow. Don't do it as a channel or an automatic write. Heaven forbid, please do not. But what he's saying is that you can write a little note or a letter to your shadow, and either pop it in an envelope and pop it in the back of a cupboard in a dark space, or burn it off to shadow, and just telling them this is what's going to happen, this is what I need from now. You need to pull back your energy and just let them know I'm taking back that energy. It says engage higher reason. Yeah, your light source, your higher self, your energy source. It says strengthen your gifts. Exactly. Make sure you exert your energy with your shadow. Make sure you say to them, look, this is really not working for him right now. I'm fucking exhausted. You know, it says shine your light. There you go. This is all about having that balance with your, look how this is popping. So it's all about having that balance with what you've got going on with your shadow and your dark. So, or your shadow and your dark. Wow, that sounds weird. Your light and your dark. Sometimes I say things and don't realize, and then watch the video 3 hours later. I'm like, oh, okay. Words are mumbled. All right, we've just got 3 more little decks to pull through here. Can I have? You can hear the little bells chiming. That's my washing machine. Can I have 2 of these? Says karma. There's nothing from a past life that cannot be addressed in this current life. So if you're having issues with people in your physical life and you just think, what the hell have I fucking done to these people in a past life to be treated this way or whatever, this is your answer. There's nothing from a past life that cannot be addressed in this current life. Work on your shadow, bring balance in, do some yin yang stuff, draw some yin yang, wear some black and white, you know, eat black and white, literally eat black rice and bloody cauliflower or something and have it as a meal. Bring in that balance and really breathe that energy in. When you're drinking your water, picture it as a yin yang, like you're swirling through your system and stuff. We've got signs. Instincts are the message from the divine, from the inner divine, and invite help. Invite the divine to pursue you. Seriously, just say, I'm finally ready, God, pursue me. If you're not up for God, if God isn't a word in your vocabulary, disregard that word. And that's the second card that's come out asking you to ask for help. So in order to usher in some light energy while you're going through a shadow element of your journey, these are just little channeled cards of my own, and this will help raise your vibration. Okay, what have we got here? Oh no, that one's actually ripped, sorry. Okay, we've got anger is never love. Prepare all meals with love as the intention. I just said to someone recently, talking to your food and say, I love you, I'm healthy, I'm growing, you know, I'm balanced, I'm equal, there's equality. Say thank you to yourself. Yeah. Walk the dog. If you have a dog, get out and walk the dog. That'll help bring in that light energy. Enroll in study or a short course if you can. Maybe even just read the book as Spirit had said. Can I just have 2 more of these, please? Voice your opinions. Yeah, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to say what you're feeling to yourself or others. Hug a tree. I'm getting told to pull more. Light a candle. Get a healing or a massage if you can. And this is a message from Spirit. Kiss, kisses, and kissed. You are loved. Your spirit team are watching you. Oh, look, and this one says visit a spiritual place. Okay, and a spiritual place to you could literally be a rainforest up the road that has beautiful energy, and you just want to go there and be amongst the trees, right? So Spirit's saying that you are loved and they can really see what you're going through, and you can ask them for help. They're waiting for you to ask them for help. They can't just always intervene. Archangel Michael, I'm just also getting told that people need to pull back on dark drinks. So if you drink prune juice, Ribena, I couldn't drink Ribena, coffee, black coffee, iced coffee, lots of cups of tea, Dr. Pepper, Coke, whatever, Pepsi. If you drink any of those things, you need to pull back and have a break from that and change the color of food and energy you're putting into your body. Unless, like I said before, with the black rice and a little bit of cauliflower and stuff, that's a bit different. Leadership, show the way. Archangel Michael calls upon you to take on a leadership role. Your love and light will show others the way forward. And that is a message to yourself. That is a message to yourself. You will show your shadow that you're still very of the light, okay? And that other people might need your help. But don't be afraid to talk to somebody. And it says, see, look at this. Fresh eyes, call on a third party. Archangel Michael requests that you consult a third party to assist you. Fresh eyes are required to objectively review an unfolding situation. The message for you keeps coming out that you need to ask for help. Now, it says here, get a healing or a massage. You might need a reading. You might need a one-on-one reading. You might need to actually consult somebody to have an energy clearing. You might want to have a shamanic healing. You might want to have some sort of a smudging ceremony done with, for, or around you. Call in a third party, get some help. If that's so simple as getting a few of your girlfriends or your mates together to do that and have that little healing day, we'll do it and exchange gifts that way. So that's beautiful. And light a candle because you're of the light, because even in the dark a candle will be lit, right? So you just really need to have a word with your shadow, pile 1. because sometimes it's literally something so simple as going, I acknowledge you, I know you are here, you know, and call your power back. All right, let's go over to pile 2. The Buddha. This is cool. I had a happy plant, like a good luck bamboo plant in it for a very long time. Okay, pile 2. What is your shadow energy for this overall pile, please, Spirit? Archangel Michael is here, guys. He was in the first pile as well. Can I have that one? We've got forget who you are, conditioning falls away, memory no longer defines you. Oh, wow. Can I have another one of these cards to back it up, please? This is Alice the Wonderland deck. There is a fair bit of shadow element in this deck. I love it. I don't use it too often. It says, no need to fear. Remember how powerful you are. Wow. Wow. Forget who you are. Forget who you are. Conditioning falls away. Memories no longer define you. Wow. Okay, to be honest, I'm just going to be straight up. This pile number 1 was a bit more advanced, and advanced energetically with their shadow journey or their dark night of the soul journey that they've been through or are in through, opposed to this pile, even just from these specific 2 cards. So let me just channel here. Whoa, all right, what Spirit's saying to you guys is that you don't need to worry about other people's opinions on your journey at this time. If somebody is poking a spiritual wound, or let's just say a metaphorical wound, if somebody is poking your wound, it's an open wound spiritually, and they keep poking it and poking it and poking it, Spirit is saying you don't need to be a part of that conditioning. You can let it fall away. Just know that they are that particular person. They are in your life to help harness and make peace with your shadow, because what this particular reading is about is how to get balance in your yin yang element, how to have your shadow in balance, or as in balance as you can have it with your light element. Okay, and I really think that there is genuinely some people in this particular pile who are getting picked on or bullied by other adults or another person in their life, and it says memory no longer defines you. You really need to work on clearing off that energetic memory. If you can do some binaurals or subliminals or some stuff like that to raise your vibration and lift that away from you on YouTube and stuff, nobody needs to know. You can just do it while you're traveling on public transport or something, or in the car if you can get a bit of time on your own. You really need to do that, because somebody is really bringing your energy down. And if they're not bringing your energy down right now immediately, you've not long or have recently come out of that energy, and it's been quite tumultuous. It says no need to fear. Remember how powerful you are. Exactly. Stand in your power. Sometimes shadow is pushed upon us, our own shadow element. Remembering we're not separate from our shadow. We are all at one with our own shadow. Without shadow there is no light. Without light there is no shadow, right? But sometimes it's pushed upon us, shadow, from the heartache and the pain that we go through in the real life human conditions, the world, right? Domestic abuse, you know, physical abuse, self-harm, you know, self-harm could be drinking too much, or not eating enough food, or just not telling yourself you love yourself, or just feeling horrible about yourself every day even though you dress beautiful and your hair's done and everything like that. Self-harm doesn't just cover the gory elements of harm. It covers a lot of different ways. But I think this pile has had their shadow, their dark night of the soul pushed onto them because of what's been going on around them, and now you have no choice but to work through it. Remember how powerful you are. You do not need to fear. You will get through whatever's going on around you. This is a blessing for a mother. Wow, this is a blessed bee deck. So 2 things here. You could be a mother, and this is what you're worried about, your mothering element, your energy as a female. If you are female, to do with raising your children, with what you've been got going on with your dark night of the soul, with your shadow element at this point in time. But you got to remember, even being a mother in itself and having your love and that unconditional love for your children, and children usually will always have unconditional love for their mother, regardless of what's going on. When they're little, when they're still in that growing phase, it's just unconditional. You could be having the worst day of your life and your children will love you, and that's a really good way to pull pull on the balance with your shadow and your light at the moment. Remember that. The other message is for those of you that have lost a mother in spirit, she's with you at this time, or a mother figure, she is with you at this time, and she's asking you to please remember that you can call her in at any time and ask her to help soothe your fear. Okay, there's one other message with this card. If you're somebody that doesn't have a very good connection or relationship with a mother, and your shadow has stemmed from a female energy, your dark night of the soul journey, Spirit is saying that they are blessing you for your attention to detail, for acknowledging that's where it stemmed from, because some people go a lot through their life and not even realize that's how some pain or some shadow starts, from that maternal element. And Spirit just wants you to know that they're shining some light in you at this time. Okay, look at this one flipped out, a blessing of protection. So for those of you that are worried about your safety, you are protected, and that could be in lots of different ways. For those of you that aren't quite so protected in certain ways, but other ways you are still protected. Look at the light just pouring across these cards right now. Can I have another card, please, to clarify for this? A blessing on a home. Wow, guys, you can't make this shit up. And there's a lot of green in this card here, and there's luck going on here, and the dove, there's peace, there's transformation, there's a butterfly here. So the green is with your heart chakra, so you might, and there's also green on your protection card, so you might really need to do some clearing and energy healing on your heart chakra to help bring in that balance and that equilibrium with your shadow. I think at the moment you're not able to disassociate and separate emotionally from your shadow element and your light, and be able to sort of pivot in the middle and go shadow and light. I think at the moment it's all rolled in and it's a bit blue with some grey energy. So what Spirit's saying is that you are protected. You've got transformation coming on. Your home is protected. For those of you that are praying and wishing for a new home element, that is coming in as well. But you also need to maintain that energy of your shadow. You might need to have a word with your shadow and say, now's not the time. You need to pull back so I can get shit done in the real world here, you know. I think there are, excuse me, I was just having a drink of water. I think there are people definitely on the move, or the home life situation has changed or will change soon somehow. And Spirit really wants you to know that in order to be able to do that, you need to make peace with what the heartache is. You need to accept the shadow element. You need to accept the aches and pains that you're having, and the headaches that you might be having, and the chronic bowel movements that you've been having, or not being able to stomach food properly and stuff. You really just need to go, oh wow, cool. Okay, this is part of shadow. Excellent. And then you'll get some balance from that. Two more for there. Green everywhere. A blessing on your day. Yeah, count your blessings and the little blessings. Just even hearing messages, not from me, but from this channel, as in a channeled message, sometimes that's enough to uplift and give people a blessing on their day. You might watch other YouTube channels. I recommend that you do look up some shadow stuff, and you do look up some other dark night of the soul readings or channeled messages and stuff, to see if it's in line with what's coming through for you today. A blessing on your day. Hug a tree. This woman's hugging a tree. She's just out there earthing. You might need to earth. There is a lot of green. You definitely need to get your heart chakra in balance, because you are more powerful than what you think, as the other card states. There's no need to fear. And it says a blessing of the earth, and this is like the same girl, right? Pretty much. Look at her. A blessing of the earth. And what Spirit's saying, you could be an earth sign. This could be a part to do with an earth sign, what you've got going on with, but at the same time, you are of the earth. You are one with the earth. And it could also be that mother element when it comes down to Gaia. And it's really important to know that in order to keep yourself balanced with your shadow, you need to stay grounded, because it can be quite overbearing. It could be quite you might be too grounded. You might be so grounded that you have the lowest of energy, that even you're like, wow, what the fuck is this energy from, you know? Refine your attention. Yeah, pinpoint what you need to work on and leave the rest for now. Like I said, it could be something so simple as realizing that you are in the middle of your shadow, your light and your dark shadow element, and that's going to bring balance in itself. But refine your attention. Don't force or push away what's going on with shadow. It's not a very nice process at times, but Spirit's saying you can look, reach for the stars. Now, for those of you that are star beings, do codes, work with Spirit yourself, are on that soul star journey or what have you. Spirit saying reach for the stars, call in your teams, call in your crews, call in your angels, call in your fairies, whatever it is that you do, your deities, whoever it is that you work with. Spirit saying that there's a light up in your path. It says this is a wake-up call. So this is a message now from Spirit saying that you have the opportunity to turn around your shadow element. You have an opportunity to get that balance, because at the moment your energy is quite low and it's quite worn out, but you're still like nose to the grind. You know, you're still pumping out your daily life. You might work, you might study, you might do all of the above, run a household, run a business. You're just looking like you could be looking after other people in your family. You could be in a care situation looking after elderly people. Whatever your story is, this is a wake-up call to say you need to have care for yourself. You need to bring in that balance with your light. You need to pour more light in at the moment, because it's getting a little dark in the corners, right? And it says tune out distractions. Now the other card said, what did it say? Refine your attention, tune out distractions. This is a message from Spirit going, if the people that have caused you pain are cropping up in your life somehow, tune out the distractions. You cannot get that level of healing or that level of warmth from your own light energy if you don't light the flame. Basically, you need to keep yourself fluid at the moment and wake up call, tune out the distractions and pinpoint what you need to work on and the energy you don't need to work on. People don't need to know what you're doing. Live your soul, not a role. Yeah, I think there's a lot of expectation on this pile from other people, or there has been, and there's a lot of residue here. This is what you have been through, but you're not in that position anymore, but you just want to see where you're at on your soul journey when it comes to shadow and dark night of the soul stuff. Spirit is saying you are a soul. Live your soul, not a role. Don't worry about what other people think or the pain that you've been put through, and you might know in yourself, wow, I really changed when I was in that relationship, or that person really altered my sense of perception when it comes down to A, B, and C, things that are going on in your life. Spirit's saying it's okay, we're all human, we fuck up, we do things we shouldn't, and sometimes we step into a survivalistic mindset. We're in a survival mode with things, but Spirit's saying you can let that guard down now, bring in a bit more light, because like I said, it is quite dark in the energetic corners of your world, of your spirit realm, and you know, you need to live your soul, not a role. That you're not a machine, you're a full functioning person, and if people want to push and pull and poke you around as if you are a machine, well, they've got something coming too. Don't worry. It says be patient. Yeah, things will change. Things are coming very soon. And it says be decisive. Woo! I'm going to pull a couple of more out of here. Be decisive. Take a stand. Make the choice. Be patient. Everything you're wishing and praying for, everything you're working on is coming to fruition. Be very mindful who you discuss your private shit with. I do recommend that you reach out to other people that are going through something similar. You might find groups on Facebook and stuff too. It says love yourself. Hallelujah. Bust out of your cocoon. As I said, it's a little bit dark in your energy. Remember, you're a powerful being, and express your joy. And that is a blessing of your day. That is about knowing that you've woken up and you've got A, B, and C. You've got whatever going on in your life, and it's really important to you to actually acknowledge that those things are blessings too, even if you're still in a shit scenario. Can I have 3 of these, please? Whoa, fly out much. So your balance was coming in. It says my greatest experience of freedom comes when I let go of what others think of me. Oh, I just bloody said that. You are a soul, not a role, right? Same thing. That's just a confirmation. My genuine desire to serve clears the path for me to step into my purpose. Yeah, serve yourself though, right? Make sure that you get that element of light coming into you. Make sure you honor yourself. Acknowledge your shadow. Acknowledge that you all combine your light, yourself, and your shadow. You're the center. You're the core of that, right? It's safe to slow down, relax, and let go. I said if you need to have a sleep, etc., a rest. There's so many in my hand here. All is well. Everything is working out for me. All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe. Okay. I'll bring that a bit closer. Focus. Focus. No. Right. There's a few more here. It says, I celebrate all the greatness in my life. Again, a blessing on your day. Guidance is available to me now. I know that angels, ancestors, and spirit guides are always at hand. I do not walk alone. As I said to you, call in your guides, call in your deities, call in your Ancestors, there you go. Whoever you work with, call in the angels. I did say that they're waiting there to help you, to guide you through this next phase and to help usher in and bring balance with your shadow and your light. I can explain, I can expand time when I'm expired. Exactly. Time is not really a real thing, but living in the human condition, it is. There's always a fucking time limit on stuff, but I can expand time when I'm expired. If you need to reshuffle your schedule, if you need to make an excuse or a reason to actually be at a certain place longer or to get out of a certain place quicker, just use your creativity and get that done, because sometimes things happens for a reason. I release my need to be right. I am defensive. Oh God, I release my need to be right. I am defenseless and at peace. Yeah, don't push against bullshit with what's going on around you. You really just need to light that candle within yourself, light that flame, keep it lit, and just say, shadow, you need to just pull back right now because I'm basking in my light. Okay. And it says, I bring peace with me wherever I go. And that is the star and the moon up there. There's the sun, the moon, and the star, actually. So for me, that's the Holy Trinity, mind, body, and spirit. And that's exactly what I'm talking about: shadow, self, and light element. Okay. So I just think that you guys are exhausted, to be honest. I just think that you could probably do, I'm just looking for a specific deck. Where did I put it? There it is. I just think that you need to do some energy clearing. If you can have an energy clearing and talk to like-minded people, I really recommend it at this time, okay? Because it's been quite drilling. And I think some of you are at the end of what's gone through this, or some of you are at the end of the Dark Night of the Soul journey at this time. And it's been tumultuous, really horrific. And you're just almost subdued from it. Okay, it says receiving. Every day it becomes easier to receive the highest divine plan and to trust my inner guidance. Yes, the more you step into your light and heal from those wounds, the more the shadow will rebalance and divine flow. Eventually, one sublime desire takes precedence over all others: to follow the Tao, the divine flow, at all costs. Yeah, you have to remain in balance. Transformations going on here. Can I have one more of those? I really like these. I love these cards. We've got, oh, wow, worth. You have been worthy to belong to love all along without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself. Wow. There's the love card again, right? Love yourself. You're more powerful than what you know. Live your soul, not a role. Can I actually have one more? Because that was just, whew, I've got pins and needles cruising up my leg. We've got divine source. Help me know that all my deepest needs will be met. Let me trust that you have a plan and the right actions will come. You are my source for all. Divine source. Tap into your faith, tap into your spirits, tap into your guides, tap into your ancestors, all of that stuff that I said earlier, okay? Because everybody's willing to get on board, help and jump with you. Right, so this little deck here is just some channeled messages that I've got, and it's just about helping to bring in that light and that balance, particularly for this reading. So in order to bring in that balance with your yin and yang element, what you need to do, it says freedom is an attitude. That's not the only time freedom has come up. The word freedom has come up in this card today. You need to just realize that you have a sense of freedom. Your thoughts, if all you've got are your thoughts at the moment, that is your level of freedom. Donate your time, donate your clothes, donate your energy to yourself or to others. If you can donate some energy to yourself and go get your feet done, or go sit at the park and have a cup of tea, or go read a book, or do something like that, it's about giving back. And sometimes you have to give back to yourself, but if you can give out to others, that'll help bring in that light. It says declutter time. I think that goes in hand with the donate. Go through what you own, get rid of things. Friends list as well, mind you. Can I have two more of these, please? We've got lift your vibration. There you go. This is what's going to help with these things. And time for a new crystal. Beautiful. So go find a crystal to help with the dark night of the soul or the shadow element. All right. Archangel Michael, he's been very quiet in this reading, but he's overlooking. I've got a whole heap of cords just flicked out here from him. What do we got here? It says the self energy. Sever energetic cords. Archangel Michael delivers powerful healing to sever energetic cords of attachments and rebalance your energy fields. Okay. And we've got divine guidance, golden tongued wisdom. Archangel Michael hands you an energetic key. This sacred key brings you guidance delivered incidentally by another. Keep your eye out for a message from somebody else, okay? Sever cords, energetic, that come up in the other pile as well, I'm pretty sure. You do need to sever some cords and attachments in your energetic field, and that will also lift and raise your vibration and get your yin-yang element in perspective. I think your emotional and your soul link journey with this particular dark night of the soul, I really feel as though it is actually been quite a solitary journey inwardly. I mean, we can discuss it with others, but just how we think and feel about things when we go through that, I think this pile has been quite solitary, and Spirit wants you to know that they're there, they're waiting for you. Now, what have we got here? Justice and truth. Scales balance. Archangel Michael hands you an energetic key. This sacred key ensures that the truth is revealed and the scales of justice are balanced. Holy shit. Can I please just have one more? I've actually got two more here. And this is the end of the reading for pile 2. Physical body protection. Gold mesh shields up. Archangel Michael suggests the gold mesh protection technique to bring security and harmony to your energy field. Picture your entire auric field and all your physical field covered in like a chainmail, like a gold mesh that's impenetrable. Nothing can get through it, okay? Physical body protection. For those of you who know what that means. Forgiveness. To err is human, to forgive is divine. Archangel Michael understands your past and present emotional pain. Forgiving yourself and others will bring you freedom and serenity. Again, with the freedom, and make peace with yourself. Forgive yourself. We are human. We make mistakes. We fuck up. It doesn't mean that you have to have gone through all this pain, but there's also a reason and a lesson for that. One more card, because this is going to come out. What have we got here? Grieve your losses. There you go. So work through that pain to get balance and equilibrium with your shadow and your light with your yin and yang element. Thanks, guys. I hope this made sense to you. Much love. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Look me up on Facebook. Sage Circle is my group. So peace out. Love, Amethyst.